Good morning, Year 7. Welcome to our next lesson in the Village Project module. This one's going to be to do with writing a diary entry, but before we get to that, we need to do our do now on the wind in the willows. You can see it there. Perform a close word analysis on this quote that highlights the importance of home. And here's the quote: home. That was what they meant. Those caressing appeals, those soft touches wafted through the air, those invisible little hands pulling and tugging all one way. And if you remember that part, it's when Mole is coming home or going back to Ratty's house, and he sort of senses his own home and he feels very drawn to it. And home is one of the themes of The Wind in the Willows. So what you need to do is find the words in there, or a word or phrase in there that you think particularly shows the importance of home. For me, it could be something like caressing or soft touches, and let's say these words have connotations of and therefore show the importance of home. 5 minutes to do that, and then go on to the next slide. Learning objective today is to explore our character's daily routine and write a diary entry. So your title, which goes into your books, is writing a diary entry for our character. You know, all the characters that we all decided we were last week. We've got a vet and a publican and a soldier and a policeman. So we're going to write a diary entry for each of our individual characters, and I'm looking forward to reading them. So put that title into your book and go on to the next slide. Before we drill down into, or rather create a daily routine for our characters, I want us to think about what that actually is. So I'm sure you know what a daily routine is. It's what you do on a daily basis, probably changed a bit recently. So what is the highlight of your daily routine, and what is the worst part? Just make a couple of little notes there on what's the highlight of your daily routine and what's the worst part. It could be, you might want to cast your mind back to before we were all in lockdown, or maybe you have a very set routine now. Either one will do. I'll give you 10 minutes to do that, and then on to the next slide. Looking at your character specifically, what does your character do at each of these specific times of day there? For example, if you're the publican, you run the pub, your day might start early at 8 AM with the deliveries of the beer and finish very late at night at 11 o'clock asking people to leave. If you're the policeman, maybe you've got a shift that covers part of those times, and you'll have to talk about things that you do outside of work as well. Or so I want you to think about what your character does at each time of those days. So it's not you, it's your character. So you must stay in character, as it were. Imagine you're an actor. And then when you've thought about what they do at each time, I want you to write a paragraph that's based on that box there that says, now build up the detail. Who do you meet? What do you eat? What does your job involve? What do you do in your free time? Well, a little paragraph, probably about less than that, maybe a third of a page, answering those questions. Once you've built up what they do through the timings on the left there, and you've got 20 minutes to do that. Okay, now you've got all the information you need. You've got to imagine it's the end of the day for your character, and you're one of those people, much like myself, who keeps a journal or a diary. And I want you to write it in the character of that. So it's not you, it's the character that you're playing, if you like, in the village. What happened on that day? I mean, maybe something really amazing happened, or maybe it was a fairly ordinary day. It's entirely up to you. I shall look forward to reading these when you send me to them. I'm getting more and more work, which is fantastic. Giving out more and more achievement points, obviously, as well. You've got to write at least a page. You've got to have at least 3 clear paragraphs. You should make sure you include interesting vocabulary and obviously good spelling and punctuation. But what's absolutely key to a diary entry, Year 7, is it's written in the first person, and the first person being I did this, I did that. All right, it's a diary entry. So off you go. You've got 25 minutes to do that. Send them to me and I'll give you achievement points. Enjoy, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Thank you, Year 7.